Hi, I'm Jeff. This is Tropical Plants at 53 degrees north, and this is going to be a new feature, or at least it's a trial of a new feature. I'm going to call this, so I've not decided totally, but I'm going to call it something along the lines of greenhouse new update or news updates or something along those lines. I'll have to have a play about with it yet, but this is going to be not aimed at YouTube search. This is going to be like a kind of a regular thing, very rough and ready. Yes, even more rough and ready than the videos that I normally put out there. Most of those are aimed at search. I mean, you've got to build up your subscribers somehow, and they're aimed at people searching for specific things. Let me just turn that off. That's how rough and ready it's going to be. So it's not, I mean, none of my videos are scripted, but they're all, as you can probably tell, but they're all, I always do some research, and I always try and double check everything. I'll make a few pointers and a few notes. None of that this time. It's just going to be basically me looking around the greenhouse, talking about what's happening, what changes are coming along, and pointing out a few things that have changed and a few things that are going to happen soon. So I thought it might be useful, it might be interesting to some people. If not, well, I guess my viewing figures will tell me that, and you'll never see it again. So let's jump in. And we are in. Okay, so the benefit of this kind of video is that it doesn't take me hours and hours to make. I can just basically jump on and just get chatting about various things that's happening in the greenhouse. I know some people, I mean, Roger's kind of comes along in this format anyway, and it seems to work pretty well for him. I know Roger is extremely knowledgeable about all things orchids, and I'm a big admirer of his and many other YouTubers as well. But you know, we all do it our own particular way. So I did actually start doing videos like this right at the beginning, and I enjoyed them because there was no pressure. Whereas as time's gone on and you start looking at your subscriber count and so on, then it does become more of a pressure to come out with something that is going to do particularly well in search. Whereas this, I don't expect this to do well in search, but it might be useful to people. So anyway, let's get cracking with it. So let me see, where can I start? I mean, it's getting to autumn time. Well, it is autumn. We're a couple of days into autumn as we speak. It is the 26th as I film this, and even though we're only a few days into autumn, the temperatures it's like they've seen the calendar and they've just suddenly plummeted. Like last night it went down to 4 degrees, and just while I'm looking at this, I'm looking through the viewfinder of my iPhone 7. I will be getting a new one to celebrate. Actually, it was a surprise present from my wife. It was a birthday present, 52-year-old birthday, 52nd birthday present. Told you this was going to be rough and ready. So yeah, 52nd birthday present, and as soon as they come out with a new iPhone, I'm going to get it. So it should be a better quality video and a lot more stable as well, not as much kind of jittery, shaky stuff going on. So where the heck were we? So yeah, it's coming into autumn. We had temperatures of 4 degrees last night, so unfortunately that means I've got to have my partition back up again. So I've got my warm side and my cool side, which I don't really like. It looks really nice when it's all opened up, and of course it's a faff having to go in and out of this thing as well. It's good in that I can grow different things, but it was really nice on those few very short months that I had that I could actually travel through the greenhouse unhindered. I think actually it was probably only about a month, but that's the UK for you. So yeah, there's a few things I want to show you. This phal isn't one of them, but it is looking particularly nice. I know phals get a bad rap, don't they, in the orchid community, probably because there's so many of them and they're kind of grown en masse. Well, that's a nice one. My sister gave me that one. I think it was one that she'd had a while and she got fed up with it. I don't know where I got this one from. I think it was in a bargain basement somewhere. They don't tend to do that well for me. I think the greenhouse temperatures are probably too extreme. I struggle to keep it warm enough in the winter, and then in the summer it gets really, really hot over this side. I don't know why. I don't know. It could be something to do with the humidity maybe. I don't think phals are particularly bothered about humidity. It might be a little bit humid over here. So some changes. Now that's still looking nice, the Habenaria Medusa, and I will do a repot on it. It is a new one. I've only had it a few weeks, and it already had a spike on it, so I'm going to be doing a repot of that at some point. I thought I'd let it bloom first. And I don't know if you did catch the video I did on that one. They do have a completely different way of looking after them to most orchids, totally different. In fact, it couldn't be more different, but it's going to be really good to have a go of it. It looked like something that, when I looked at the care needs, it just seemed to fit with the care needs that I can provide in my greenhouse. So that's going to be great. This one over here, the Zygopetalum, as somebody did say to me, oh, they're definitely two pseudobulbs. Well, look, ta-da, that is not a pseudobulb. That is most definitely a flower spike. Really happy about that one. Plumeria I've moved into the warm side because the warm side was looking a little bit bereft of plants. I got a new one very recently, a couple of days back. Ta-da! I've not got one of these. I keep trying to go for things that I don't have an example of. I've never even heard of this one. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Beallara or Beallara Purple Princess, bought on the 23rd. So it's only been here 3 days, so I haven't repotted that one yet. Again, I'll let the blooms, ever so slightly fragrant, I'll let that do its thing. There your Amseps, looking forward to that. That's looking good. So what other new things is there to mention? I've still not killed this Miltoniopsis, very happy about that. I am awaiting a bloom spike because I know that when I get a bloom spike that will kind of prove that I am not a complete Miltoniopsis nincompoop. Is that a word? Nincompoop, yes, I'm sure it is. Right, okay, Mandevilla sanderi, the hint of pink one. I did mention at some point that it didn't have any pink in it. Well, it has now. That's definitely, I don't know if you can see it on here, but it's definitely got a hint of pink. I think it's got a hint of slug trails, slime on it as well. But notice it's got a nice climbing vine, which is what I want, and that's heading off to there because I want it to, oops, I'm just about to knock over the watering can. There we go. Thought I would have had a wet foot then for a moment. So it's going to go off over there and kind of mingle in with the red one. Now, something that did cross my mind quite recently, oh, this one by the way did have quite a nasty attack of aphids, which is strange. The other one never has, but this one, a new one, and it did. But I had to give it a spray. I do have the neem oil there, but I've still not got around to actually using it. That's just something, since Fudge came along, our new little puppy, I've not had time for hardly anything. And by the way, if you've not entered the giveaway, at this particular moment, I mean, it's been live for about, it's probably about 24 hours now, and I have a grand total of 14 entries. 14 people have entered, which isn't a great deal, is it? I'm really surprised that so few people are interested in all that stuff. I don't know, maybe it's the wrong thing. Maybe subscribers aren't all plant lovers, or plant growers I should say. I don't know, maybe it's just time. I know people are busy, I certainly am. There's my other Plumeria over here, has grown quite a lot, and it seems to be doing better over in the warmer side. My Hoya, which I was so thrilled that it had a peduncle, and what happened? The bits on the end fell off. So I was very deflated over that. So Hoya is producing lots of big long straggly things, but unfortunately no blooms as yet. My Nepenthes Rebecca Soper is doing brilliantly since I did a video on this, since I changed some of the care needs, and it's just producing picture after picture after picture. This is another Rebecca Soper, loads and loads of pictures. I really must get some more Nepenthes. I tell you what, the reason why I have them is because every grower in this country that I can see, they only want to send you like this kind of size plant. Now this one, Hockeriana, I've had it since November 2019 and nothing. It's not done anything. It's just the same as it was back then. This Ventrata is going a little bit bigger, and we have got some good pictures on there now. But I mean, it's supposed to be really vigorous, but I mean, this is Nepenthes, isn't it? They're too slow, and I want it to be at least this size when I buy it, and then at least I know we're going to get some more decent sized pictures on it. So if you know any growers that's selling these things in our country, in the UK, and let me know. I did see one other grower that was selling this size, and they were hugely expensive. We're talking like £130 for a plant this size. Well, I can't take that risk. That's too risky for me. My Elizabeth Ann Buckleberry, Bulbophyllum Elizabeth Ann Buckleberry, again, loads of new growth on it. No sign of any blooms. On the other one, its sister, or its brother over here, again doing the same thing. So it's obviously not completely unhappy, but no signs of any flower spikes. This is a new one. I don't even know what it is, but it's quite a new one. That it's one of these. I ordered it off Dibley's and totally then proceeded to totally forget about it, and they arrived because they only tend to send them every, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. Figure out what that says. Aeschynanthus Hot Flash. Yeah, no direct sun. It's a trailer. Mustn't go below 12 degrees. Really nice blooms on it, and hopefully, I kind of just stuck it there for the time being. Hopefully that will kind of trail down there on that trellis and give me some nice colour. So I'm not going to rabbit on too much over on this side, so that's all there is to talk about over here. So let's whiz through over to this side. These begonias going crazy. Look at that one. Now this one I did, this is Begonia fuchsioides. I did pinch it out at the top because, not because I wanted these to grow, but because I wanted it to be multi-stemmed, and everybody says this is what it is, it's a multi-stem plant, but yeah, nothing. I've still got the single stem. These are going to have to go on the floor in a bit, and it's the same with the luxurians. It's going nice and tall, looking brilliant, but no, that's not the same. It's the same as in it's looking brilliant and it's really tall, but I didn't want that to be multi-stemmed. Look at this Tradescantia. This is Tradescantia Fluminensis Nanouk Lilac. And really, they're only supposed to put this kind of growth on kind of springtime, but this one's decided to do it now. Look at that colour. Isn't that really nice? You've got to get underneath it to see it. But even the tops are quite nice. None of the others are doing that. The Tradescantia Maiden's Blush is just a bit of a I mean, look, it's just green leaves. There's nothing on it at all. It's not dead. It's still growing very slowly, and I believe that come springtime I should get my lovely pink colour back. Hang on, what's going on here? This is my Twinkle. This is the cinnamon, and as you can see, there's a spike there. There's a couple of spikes coming on it. There's another one there. I really thought it wasn't going to spike this year. There's another one there. I'm really happy about that. The hot sun that we had earlier in the year has caused all these spots, so I have moved them since. But they are prone to that kind of thing anyway. Can't get it back in. I don't know where I had it. Somewhere over there. This trailer here, or climber. This one is a Gloriosa lily. I've got two of them, but this one, no sign of any blooms. The one over in the corner, that one down there, that the slugs got at, bit out the top, the growing tip, and then it's just kind of sat there and done absolutely nothing since. I thought it would kind of shoot off to the side, but it hasn't done, unfortunately. If you've not entered the giveaway, ton of stuff there waiting to be sent off to the lucky winner. So what else did we have to mention? I did a video on this one. It's looking a lot better now. It's been sprayed, it's been cleaned off, no more sooty mould, no more scale insect. I'm just really waiting for these older leaves now that were damaged the most to die off, and then I'll cut them off. The Nepenthes over here, this one is Gaya, looking absolutely superb. Keeps coming out with new pictures. I'm so pleased with these two Nepenthes. Great size, nice plants, probably about £40 each, £45 each. The other one's over here, a bit harder to get to. This is the burkei. Can't quite reach over to it. Again, lovely pictures. And that's the one that's kind of growing off into the moss there. Nice new growth on there. Pleased with that one. Some of these, sorry for the camera work, dodgy camera work. some of these Streptocarpus that you've not seen before. You've seen that one. That's quite a new one. That's Harlequin lace. Let's show you down here. Oops, my big fan's coming on. Just bear with me. Rough and ready, this one, remember. So this one is Kalahari. That one's Rachel from Garden at Duenza. That's her favourite. This one is DS Aramis. Obviously that one's gone a bit there. That one's going over. This one is, I think it's Caramel, is it? Yep, DS Caramel. This one is Harlequin Dawn. This is a brand new one, just opened up for me. I've still got the big label on this one. These have taken ages to get going. Like, they've literally only just started blooming now, and I've had them since like early spring. So that one's Harlequin Blue. It needs a new label in it. I've just not got around to doing it. I think I've got, that was a new one, but you can't really see that one because it's going over. I'll just move around. This one is just opening up for me. So what's this one? This is another DS one. DS Frippit. That's a strange name, Frippit. It's not really opened up properly. It's just kind of partially opened up. And you can see down here, I've got more of these DS that still haven't really got going yet. I'm sure they will pretty soon. What else have we got to talk about? Oh yeah, I started talking about this and it just kind of went out of my head. So people have asked me this before. These Mandevilla sanderi. Mandevilla, oh look at that. Something's been munching. Can you see? I'm going to have to come out tonight. See, this is another thing, another problem with having a puppy. We have our puppy in the conservatory. That's where his pen is. And every time he goes to bed at about 9 o'clock, that means I can't get out through the conservatory to get to my greenhouse to do my slug check. So the slugs are just having like a massive party in here every night. I might have to go through the front door and then through the garage to get there tonight just to make sure. So the question was, these were the 3 cuttings for the Mandevilla sanderi, and this one hasn't started to vine, which is really, really odd because the other 2 that I've got in the warmer side, both within like a matter of weeks of me getting them, have started to vine. Why is this one not? And the only reason I can think of is temperature. The humidity is pretty similar, but the temperature is quite different. The other side, it never goes below 18 degrees Celsius. This side it does. This side it goes down to 12, and it has been going down to 12, especially when it's only 4 outside. So this is an answer to a lot of the questions on why is my Mandevilla getting brown leaves or yellowing leaves? Why is it not blooming? Why is it not vining? Well, my answer to that is it's probably the temperature. I don't think it's being kept at high enough temperature. That's the only thing I can think of anyway, and that's probably a reason why. I mean, I've got 3 plants in there and none of them are vining. It's bloomed away brilliantly, but it's not vined. Another couple of these Nepenthes have really started to, well, in Nepenthes terms, they've really started to grow. Some nice pictures on that one, and this finally, I've got like a fairly big picture on that one there. So I'm hoping they really get going a bit this coming year. Caleria, still looking great. Look at that, that's really nice. The other Caleria is kind of going over now, but it's bloomed for months on end. Let me see. I'm still waiting for this. did I do a video on this one? Oh, I forget. I do that many videos and things just happen. I've got 2 businesses to run and a family to look after, and as well as YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and oh my goodness me, it's a wonder I get anything done. Yes, I did a video on this one, didn't I? So this is the Sherry Baby. Waiting for that. I'm thinking of doing a video on this one. This is a Cambria, and it's really like a kind of indefensive Cambria, because I see loads on Phalaenopsis, I see loads on Dendrobium nobilis, the most popular orchids over here, and I would say the next one after that is Cambria. So, but I never see anybody talking about it. It's kind of like, well, it's not really a proper orchid, but it is, and I think it's worth having a chat about it. So when that comes into bloom, I'll do a video on that one. I've brought this fuchsia in. because it's just getting absolutely battered by the winds. And I love the blooms on it, even though, like I say, this one is, I only just like literally brought it in about half an hour ago, and it needed watering as well because the winds had just dried it out and it's looking a little bit wilted. But I've decided to keep this in the greenhouse now because I want it looking full of blooms like it did before, and I just love these. I love this colour and the kind of structure of this bloom, so I want to get it back to its full glory if I can. So another one, Streptocarpus DS1126, very imaginatively titled. Oh yes, and before I forget, now this one was mentioned by Michael, one of my subscribers. Streptocarpus dunnii. Now, what's interesting about that? Well, I'll tell you what's interesting about that. There's only one leaf, obviously, stating the glaringly obvious. However, this is what they call, if I can remember it, a unifoliate. And there are other unifoliates, not just Streptocarpus, but a unifoliate, as the name suggests, is a plant that only produces one leaf. Isn't that bizarre? I could do a whole video on that. I'm going to have to look it up and really find out what's going on with it properly. But this leaf, believe it or not, on Streptocarpus can get to about 1 metre long. And it has some gorgeous blooms on it as well. So I can't wait for that to get going. At the moment, it's just kind of sitting there. I've only had it about 2 or 3 days, doing nothing, but I'm sure at some point it will really show its thing. Hopefully it will anyway. Okay, so that is my update for today. I always show you this one, don't I? If you're into ferns, this is a gorgeous one. Look at that colour on that foliage. That's the new foliage on this Terris quadriorita. I know not many people are into ferns. A few of my subscribers are. I've picked up quite a number actually on fern people. But you need to make yourself heard, because if I get comments, then I get the idea that that's what people want. So if you've any more suggestions, somebody did suggest on propagating for videos. That's a good idea. I would like to do some more on propagating. I think we're done. I'll just show you my Coleogene speciosa. That keeps throwing out blooms, as does my slipper orchid over here, my Phragmipedium worthii. I had no idea they did this. It just keeps on chucking them out. Really, really nice plant. And for Nicholas, my Begonia Griffon, which just feeling that feels a little bit soft. I think that needs a bit of water. But I can't get time to water today, unfortunately. I'll have to wait till tomorrow. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this new kind of style of video. Please let me know if you did, because I will keep doing these kind of update videos that aren't aimed at search. They are just kind of an update about what's going on. And I am going to, I'm doing a Roger here. I'm just off on my way. That's it, we're finished, and then go on for another half an hour. But of course we love him for that, don't we? That's what it's all about. So this is what we call passion. So over here, my vents, you can see I've got bubble wrap like on the inside of the window, but all that's going to need covering on these pistons inside that open it up automatically are going to have to come out. But the problem is I'm at that time of year where, yeah, it's freezing at the moment, but we could totally change again next week, and we could get the wind coming up from the south, and we could get temperatures well into the 20s again, which is going to mean I'm going to need them open, because obviously through glass it can easily reach 30. So it's a little bit of a dilemma at this time of year. I think I've just got to put up with the fact that I've got to pay. So I'll leave you with this I'll leave you this bougainvillea. And like I say, let me know what you think about this style of video, for just as a kind of a new update, a news update. I'm saying new update because I have a little bit of software that helps me out with the SEO, and when I did an SEO, like run a search on it on new update, it did absolutely marvellously, whereas if I put news update, it was hopeless. So I'm going to call it new update, because even though it's not aimed at search, it would be nice if somebody would find it in the future and it wouldn't be a video that's kind of lost forever. So I am definitely going for now, because I have a doggy to look after. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, well, unsubscribe and go somewhere else. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.